What's up? For those of you that are watching, Mr. Six, right on time, man. I love it. For those of you that are watching the replay, you can still heart away, tap, tap, tap that screen. Keep tapping throughout. I really, really appreciate that. You can invite by swiping the camera either left or right or swiping up. You can also share this on Twitter or Instagram. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be teaching you guys eye contact. We got a new board and train that just came in. You're going to be seeing longer videos and stuff on the Facebook page. I'll show you what we have going on right now. Behind me, we have Penny. That's the same girl. If you guys have been following us for a while, this is now Canine Cornerstone. Yeah, what's up? So Penny is that dog that was that 12-second clip when she was going crazy, trying to go after me and go after the dog. She's awesome now. We got my man Soko, who's passed out or just chilling out. What's up? What's up, Cookie Lab Bakery? Who we have here is a brand new board and train. Just came today. I can assure you that the dog, the name doesn't do it justice. The dog's name is Muffin. This dog is a real deal dog. The dog is here for human dog aggression, separation anxiety, a lot of reactivity, a couple other things. We might catch the owner on here. I'm not really sure. Watching while at the tat. Are you really? No shit. That's awesome. You're getting another tat? So we're going to show you. The dog is already food motivated, right? Already food motivated, which is solid. I actually wasn't even going to do this. What we started doing was basic play stuff. I'm going to show you kind of where we are. I got to figure out how to hook this up so you guys can see it. Let me turn this around. Hold on one sec. It's always the dogs with like the wild names, like Barksley. The dog's going to be a barker. Killer. The dog's like super wild, and then the dogs with the soft names are always like crazy as well. Right. Let me try and set this up here. We're going to show you just basics. This is anything crazy. What we do is we teach for a number of reasons. Let me make sure this is set the way I need it. Oh, I gotta go this way. There we go. Okay. Set. I will get this further along in the middle here. Alright, so this dog, we started simply by getting on and off of this thing. We started on a bigger placemat. This was earlier today, the dog came today, right? Got the dog right here. We just walk the dog off, no big deal, nothing fancy, nothing to brag about. Set this up a little bit better here. Gotta make sure you guys can see. Okay, cool, that looks good. And then what I started doing was I started going into some play stuff. So the play stuff with the food was in my hands. I had a dog. See, like even if I go in there, the dog like snarls. The dog's thinking about snapping at me. So I gotta be very slow and careful with my movements. Tail is wagging, the dog's food motivated. What I would do is I would lure the dog on. Second the dog came on, I would yes the dog. And I did this a couple times, and I did a little bit of play stuff, and then I said, you know what, this is going to be a dog to do eye contact stuff with. One of the main reasons, the dog is food possessive, also resource guards, right? This dog is a flat-out brat. The owner will tell you, sweet down inside, but is a little bit of a jerk. So now what we're doing is we're getting the dog on. I have food in both of my hands, right? It's going to be here, the dog is on, it knows how to kind of say. The dog is going to try to give me a punch. When the dog makes the mistake of right there, yes, looking at me in the eyes and not even realizing what he did, that's when I'm going to yes it. So for those of you that are new to me, my name is Blake Rodriguez. I have a 2-floor dog training facility here in New York City. We are known for working with dogs that have the worst of the worst behavior problems imaginable. You name it, that's what we work with. But we also do work with a lot of happy-go-lucky dogs and stuff like that as well. So this dog just arrived. For those of you that don't know my markers, I use 3. I use good, yes, and no. Yes is a terminal command. Yes is what we release our dogs on, right? So the dog is working for the yes. When they hear the yes, that's when they come to take food. Very, very important for me. Other trainers might do this differently. For me, when I yes a dog, they must take food. Not me give it to them, take it. If they're doing something I don't want to keep them from doing it or have them continue doing it, I will say good and I will give them food, right? So that's kind of what we have going on. I'll show you a couple things. Get the dog back on. Right here, this is like a Stairmaster for this little dog. Dog's so small. Get this going. I'm going to get down to the dog's level just because they don't have the muscles initially. Yes. And for a quick second, the dog looked at me in the eyes, right? This first session, with a dog like this, you're not going to see this yet, right? It takes a little bit of time to develop those muscles, and this dog is not really used to working, right? So that's going to take some time. I know Jen's going to be coming in a little bit with two really cool dogs. So we get the dog on, right here, beautiful. Let's see where we are. Yes. And the head was still looking at the hand, but the eyes glazed over at me. So I'm going to keep it basic as ever. I don't care right now. Just the dog is successful. The dog is realizing they're looking at me. Eventually they're going to realize, look, in order to get to this, you have to look at me. You want the food that is here. You want this to get access granted and have the hand open up. You need to look here. That's your Rubik's Cube. That's how you solve that, right? Hey! Good. So Jen's taking forever. She's supposed to get the bulldogs out. She's actually like responsible for this girl here, but I'm keeping an eye on her right now. Okay, so right back on. Good job. A little bit of this. Weights. I don't like to name it or anything yet. I like to get success before I name something. Right, I'll get a little bit lower. Yes. And rule of thumb, what I like to do is, this is actually pretty important. I'm going to come over to you guys real quick. If, you guys see me all right? Yeah. If I get a dog that's starting to take food, right, and I'm going to entice. I'm not going to have my hands all the way out here if the dog doesn't know how to do it. I'm going to stay here in this area for a while, right? I wonder if you guys can still see this dog. Where are you? I'll be kind of over here for a second. Can you see this dog? Yes, you can. Okay. So I'll do a little bit of this. If the dog looks at this hand and then looks at me, I'm going to reward with this hand. If the dog looks at this hand and then looks at me, I'm going to reward with this hand. Because I don't want a dog assuming with hands. I want them knowing looking at me is what gets them the food, not the hands. Right? So I'll be over here. And because I have a food motivated dog, I don't really need so much a leash. Unless I have a dog that's jumping up on me or I'm really, really nervous. Right now, the vibe the dog's giving me, I'm cool with it, right? So, instead of wagging, I'll bring the dog in. SIT the dog with a little bit of body. Yes. Now this is starting to flow. This is starting to click. We're going to do a periscope session with this dog, maybe like a weekend, showing you them holding eye contact. So this is the start. A lot of times people ask for like the perfect results, and you show them the perfect results, they go, well, how'd you get there? And then you show them how you get there, and you go, well, that doesn't look how I want it. This is what we do in order to get it to look perfect the way you see it, right? And then eventually we go into duration goods and all that stuff. So I'll show you this right now, the SIT again. Bring the dog back, the dog strays a little bit too much. Yes. The dog looked at me, but the head was facing this way, so I yesed this way. And this is how we teach eye contact. I'm gonna get this dog on place, and then I'm gonna yes him, and then he's gonna be done for the session, and then I'll do a little Q&A with you guys, all right? Right here. Yes. Good job. And we're gonna see this dog normally barks and goes crazy when it sees other dogs. We've got some bulldogs coming in, so we'll see how that works. I think we'll be all right. And then what we're gonna do, we're going to get these bulldogs on the treadmill. This one's going to get worked for the food. Come on, you. So give me a quick second. I'm going to go ahead and take this phone. And I promise that every Periscope session, when we have the opportunity, I will do a Q&A with you guys. at the end. So we have 30 people still here. The loyal people that stay till the end are the people that I get to just kind of shoot the shit with, right? That's pretty much it. So if you guys have questions, ask away. I'll show you what's going on right now. So this one's here. I'll show you the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs that are in. Jen's here. Trainer Jen. Yeah, no problem. Of course. All about the sharing. Watch. Keep an eye on her there, yeah? Hey! Yeah, so I'll show you what's going on. Hold on. How long does it take? Yeah, that Jen. So we have two Jens. We have Jen K and then we have Jen B. This is Jen Bianchi. Bianchi. I know. Like the bicycle.
No, like the one, Chianti.
Oh, like Chianti, yeah. Love that white bulldog. Yeah. How long does it take to build focus? Is that what it was? Like to actually hold contact? It depends. Like we had a dog. Who was it? Was it Penny? Or was it Sophie was holding eye? No, it wasn't Sophie. It was actually Penny. Penny was holding eye contact pretty quickly.
Yeah, Penny's really good.
Your belly could use that treadmill. Yeah, I think we all could use it a little bit. Always see if she wants water first, right? What other questions do we have, guys? I'm gonna hang out with her on here. Or can you do me a favor? Bring me that placemat next to her. I'm just gonna try to see if she's gonna lay down while I do a little Q&A with these guys. Thanks. You guys have no questions. That's perfect. Thanks. I see the hearts. I love the hearts. There's definitely more of you guys. Your leash pressure. I'm from New York City. My nationality, I'm Puerto Rican Italian. What do you do if the dog doesn't look at you? You saw it. I was actually doing it right there. The dog wasn't looking at me at all. This is the very first time the dog was doing it. Our training sessions typically range from, it depends on where the dog is in the program, but they're usually 5 to 10 minute sessions, 10 minutes. Your dog always barks. This is the thing. Follow our Dog Behavior Question Tuesday show or episodes on YouTube. We get into crazy detail with all of this stuff. I'll be honest, like the first 3 episodes were first 2 episodes were a little rough because it was my first time doing it. But get into episode 3 moving forward or episode 4 moving forward. What's up, guys? Hold on, these are some friends that. Can you guys see them? Say hi. Say hi. Episode 4 moving on. It's a lot of good information, right? Yeah, well, the thing is, you probably don't teach your dog patience at all. Muffin's. Oh, this is Muffin's owner. Yeah, Muffin's gonna pass out. I just had him on a walk. Check him out here. I just had him on a walk, and he's zonked. He just peed and pooped. We'll get him out for another walk before the end of the night. But yeah, you got to get your dog to do more play stuff. Training sessions. It's so a dog doesn't get bored, but it's also so that you leave the dog. Yeah. So the owners for Vicente and Julieta are right there right now. They're gonna come back though. How long? 30 minutes. 30? Okay. So we just got their dogs on the treadmill and the owners just came. They were gonna pick them up, but they're gonna come back in 30 because they want them to get worked. Yes, I'm gonna explain the difference in the markers right now. Really quick. So before I explain the markers, I'm gonna go ahead and explain why we always want to leave the dog wanting more. If we work the dog until they've had enough, then they go, I'm done. And we always end when they want it to end. If I end it where the dog's like, wow, I was just getting the hang of that. Like, I really love that. I enjoy that. Next time we come back for more, they get excited when they see me. And they learn to be excited in a good way. Excited in a way where they focus versus we don't use treats. That was their actual food. That was the actual kibble, right? Very, very important. That was their kibble right there, right? There's sometimes where we use treats. What's up, brother? There's sometimes where we use treats, but it's usually where we're calling dogs off for something of higher value, right? Work them separately first. Then, when you start getting into a better place with them, start working them together. As far as the markers, we're going to cover this. I use good, I use yes, and I use nope. Good means keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a fantastic job. I want you to continue. You are one step closer to getting your yes. Yes is what we refer to as a terminal command. So a terminal command basically means the job is done. It's ended, right? So on the YES, the dog comes to take food. I want the dog to actually be rude. I want the dog to take it out of my hand, right? Because when you get a dog good at taking food, you can begin to really like free shape and get a dog to follow because they're used to actually taking it, right? When you get a dog that's polite, they always wait. How long do you hold eye contact? In the beginning, I don't at all. Right now, this is this guy's first session. All I was doing was the second he happened to look at me, even if he wasn't aware, I went ahead and I guessed him yes. Yes is the equivalent of break or free. A lot of trainers use break. Good means keep doing what you're doing. So it's almost like a stay, but it can also be helpful in a trick. If I'm teaching the dog to like not go through my legs forward, but actually go through my legs with with their butt going backwards. If they do it by mistake and I say good and the dog knows it, they're like, oh, wait, that's what you want? Really? Keep doing what you're doing, right? Of course, we always go away from food. It's just to teach the foundation, and then we get to the point where we fade away, right? And then that's when you go into you go from a fixed to a variable rate of rewarding and stuff like that. And that comes later. In the beginning, you have to teach what you want. So you mark, right? I do work all day, yeah. If you guys follow the Facebook page, I just finished coming from working with a 7-week-old puppy. They just arrived, just giving them some tips. Drove over there, came back down. He just locks up. How good is that dog's leash pressure? Dog's leash pressure has to be solid. Leash pressure is a must before jumping into remote collar. Remote collar is college level stuff, right? It's not like, oh, you're going to get to do this. If you're going to use any type of escape avoidance, you want to make sure a dog knows how to do those things prior. Otherwise, you run the risk of that, and then you're shutting it off, and you're trying to become a correction versus communication. You want to be able to converse with your dogs, not lecture your dogs, right? Very, very big difference. That's super, super important. So good is that. Yes is the release. Yes is the break. And nope is actually very valuable. A lot of people aren't understanding this. Nope for me means actually something. It means stop doing what you're about to do and go back to doing what you were doing. Oh, this dog finally laid down. Check it out. Right? So nope is very, very important. A lot of people say no to their dogs. They say no, but it doesn't mean anything. Nope for me actually has meaning, right? So if you're good with your timing, it's like, I use this analogy all the time. It's like grandma reaching for the cookies, right? Or I'm sorry, it's like me reaching for the cookies, and before I even decided to reach, my mom or my grandma said, don't even think about it. And I was like, how did she know, right? You got to have that type of timing, right? So the value of the timing. Jen, could you do me a favor? Could you stand on this placemat? We're going to place Jen for a second, right? So Jen is placed. Look how well trained she is. She starts to step off. Nope. And I move forward, and we have a choice. Now, and that's good. Break, you're free. Or yes. What's very, very important is that my spatial pressure when I'm moving forward eases up. Everything is congruent. Everything is the same. Everything parallels one another, right? My leash pressure, my remote pressure, my spatial pressure when I ease up. Timing is very, very important. So, I mean, I can do this stuff a little bit later, and if you watch all our other videos on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube and stuff, it'll help to create a little bit more clarity. Guys, I'm going to answer a couple more questions. I'm going to flip this around one more time, just because it's a little bit easier on my hands. And this is what we have going on here. Oh, that's a great question. So there's different ways to hold food. It's kind of preference. When you're, oh, what's up, Danny? How is it, man? Listen, I would love to come to Dallas for a seminar, but I need to have a venue, and I need to be invited, right? Somebody has to invite me and say, hey, man, I love your work and do this, rather than me being like, hey, man, I think I have like stuff of value to teach. Do you think you'd want to host me? I want somebody to kind of already know what I do and say, hey, we could use you, and there's people that I know in the area that would pay for what we charge, right? So my personal private seminars are 2-day seminars. The seminars that we teach, Understanding Canine Behavior with Tyler Muto, are 4-day seminars, right? So that's a little bit more of an elaborate workshop. That's pretty much it. What other questions are we looking at, guys? I'm just feeding this dog the rest of the meal right now. The dog is just kind of hanging out. job. Just for the dog staying on there. This new dog, so I said it at the beginning, this dog is in for resource guarding, food possessive behavior, dog aggression, human aggression, separation anxiety, pulling on the leash. Actually very, very strong, surprisingly, this dog. Oh, holding food. Thank you, man. Thank you. Okay, so this is the thing. When you get a dog that's food motivated and really starts like shaping, so it depends on how big your hands are, but let me actually shape this here. So my hand here, my hands are pretty big, but I tend to keep food here. And I hold it and I cup it. When a dog takes out of here, there's a couple things. A lot of people will hold food here. And what happens is if you get dogs that are food motivated, you get bit a lot. You get your fingers chomped on, right? Especially when you start getting the drive that you want, you start